What's up, everybody? I remembered to unmute the mic this time for a change. Welcome to What the Fuck Thursday. I'm gonna try to get back on schedule for Tuesday. I'm feeling, pretty okay, so I should be able to do the show on Tuesday, um, and get us back on schedule to What the Fuck Tuesday versus Thursday. So it's good to see everybody. Slowly starting to come into the chat. Hey, Shay, Leandra. I'm sure everybody will be coming. Hey, Jerisha, coming in shortly. We have, let me see, it looks like 21 questions today, up one from last time, which was up two from the time before that, and up quite a few from when I first came back. Let me show you what we got coming up so you can make sure you hit that subscribe button today. Let's see, this is what we just put up. This one went up yesterday, telling women to stop talking so much. I have three different versions of this cover, but the title stays the same. So three different ladies on it. You don't know which one it's going to be. I keep switching them out. But just look for the title and you'll see it. It's in the playlist, the 12-step program for silly women. And then coming up this weekend will be a upload that is kind of a follow-up to the one we just did about talking too much. But someone came back and asked me, well, what does it mean then to be transparent in a relationship? They're trying to figure out, okay, I'm thinking anyway, that's what they're trying to figure out is how do you be transparent then if you keeping your mouth closed and not blabbing and telling everybody? And I have the answer. So that'll be an upload. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the instant notification bell because I'll most likely do it as a premiere so you guys can go in there and talk about it and chat about it at the same time, okay? So that's what we got coming up on the channel. So let's get started. On these advice questions, these are submitted in advance. If you want to submit your question to what the fuck, well, it's going to be back on Tuesday. Tuesday to get on the show, to have your letter considered for the show. You need to follow instructions there. Look in the show description down below, and you'll see the link. Or you can just look at the up top here on YouTube main channel. There's like a little green button that says Get Advice. Or you can go to depsterism.com, and there's the form there. It's also the same form on survivingdating.com. So whichever one works for you, but it's real easy. Just click the link if you go on the show description page, okay? So let's get started since we have 21 questions. That's a lot. Question number one. This is a female in the 50 to 56 age group from Luton, Bedfordshire in the UK. I have been with my partner for 7 years. He is a good man, loyal, faithful, and hardworking. We are both in our early 50s. However, he is prone to making bad financial decisions, which constantly have an impact on our financial future. His latest mistake was buying a car that he always wanted, but in the process, he exchanged a decent one for this. The car he wanted to buy was an older car, but he assured me that he knew what he was looking for in terms of corrosion, mechanical issues, which I did trust because he does a lot of maintenance on our current vehicles, and he's a great mechanic. However, it has transpired that the vehicle he bought has major chassis issues, and despite having a clean MOT, I don't know what that means, God knows who did it, on closer inspection by our normal garage, it has several issues that will cost a lot of money to resolve, in excess of £3,000. Wow. The garage he did the deal with were obviously on the dodgy side and only offered him a warranty for the engine and the gearbox. And to be honest, I think they saw him coming. So in essence, he has let go of a perfectly good and well-maintained vehicle and swapped it for a rust bucket and lost us several thousand dollars to boot, with combined costs of the purchase price and the repairs. To make things worse, this is a work vehicle, so the repairs have to be done immediately so they can carry on working. We only have a modest savings account, which is now severely dented, and with the cost of living crisis money we could ill afford to spend. I am a carer and have just received my cost of living bonus, which I had earmarked to go towards filling our oil tank for the winter, but is now going to be swallowed up on car repairs. Deb, this is not the first time he has made poor financial decisions, And when we met, he was living in rented accommodations with debts up to his eyeballs. He is self-employed, and it took him up until last year to sort out his finances. And although he is insisting he will pay the money back for the car, no doubt he will go into debt to do so, which will affect us both in the short term as we share joint finances. I am so angry with him, and to be honest, this has made me feel that I can no longer trust him to make the right decisions on anything, and has made me question our whole relationship. Am I overreacting, or would you feel to say, oh, no, no, no? First of all, Deb would not be in this position because I'm not sharing finances with nobody. Okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm not married to you. It's not what you have is not mine, and community property and all that stuff. You don't get access to my money. The thing that's making me the most concerned for you is your age. Okay, you guys, you in your mid, what do you say, early, mid, whatever. Wait, hold on a second. Don't let me lie. Well, anyway, so, oh, you say you're in your early 50s. Okay, so you got about 12, 15 years most before you guys deuce out and retire. What do you, if you have somebody like this running through your money and your savings to put a point where you can't even buy heating oil and stuff, y'all gonna be sitting up there freezing or going into debt, some more debt at 50, early 50s? That's not how you handle yourself, and that's not how you look at your finances. If you want to stay with this guy, which I personally wouldn't because he sounds stupid, I would sit him down and I would separate our finances. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is tell him, look, you're not going to buy nothing unless I approve of it. That's just the way it's going to be. You don't like that, get out. Just get out then. But this, I don't know. I mean, I can tell that you're really angry, but if you question the whole relationship, the only way that you're going to get around this is you're going to have a serious talk with him about the fact that you guys are aging, and at a certain number of years you're not going to be able to work or interested in working. Your energy levels drop. You don't feel like it. You've been working for like forever. So you need to have a serious talk with him about this and see what he's thinking, because you may find that it's the time for this relationship to be over has come. I personally, by the time I found him and he was up to his dead eyeballs, I would have passed him by because he would have been somebody who, with a proven track record of not managing his money well. So the fact that you're surprised that he's still not managing his money well kind of makes me look at you with the side eye, like, you didn't know that? What, you thought you was gonna swoop in with your cape and save him? He was a fool when you found him, and he still won. There you go. That's my opinion. Question number 2. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Amarillo, Texas. This is more of a rant than a question. I need to get this off my chest, but certainly welcome your insight. My sister suggested that I write to you, I think because she's sick of listening to me talk about it. So she want to spread the joy to me. And that's funny. Deb, my girlfriend wants our relationship to basically be a full-on relationship from rom-com lifestyle movies. She tells me all these things. Oh, God. She tells me all the things she expects from me and cries about it. I can't do everything, and I'm just done with it. Anytime she sees another couple doing something, she yells at me and cries that we didn't do that thing. She expects me to read her mind, to do whatever she's thinking. If I don't do or say the thing that she wants me to do or say, then she gets mad and cries. She expects me to watch for the minor things and do something about it. She expects me to basically get to her chocolates and flowers every day or she'll cry. Oh my God. She tells me things that I'm supposed to do when we're living together in the future. And if I answer or say anything wrong to her expectations, then I'm in trouble. Literally anything she sees on movies, on TikTok, and books, all the other couples, she expects me to know these things and to do them. Literally textbook step by step, or else she whines and cries about it. Where did you find her? You need to turn her back in. It's getting worse every time I see her, and I'm so close to leaving. Funny thing is that I get random, quote, red flags for relationship TikToks, and having expectations is always on the list. I think it's a sign I need to deuce out, as you say, but I don't know how to leave. This is my first serious relationship, so I don't know what to do. I don't have expectations for her. I just want her to do her thing, but she's being too childish with all the crying and whining. Sometimes I feel like I'm babysitting an adult child. Am I just overreacting, or is this completely ridiculous? Oh no, honey, it's so far in the completely ridiculous lane. I mean, it's like way down there, just way ridiculous. Where did you find this chick? You need to turn her back in. This is what you say since you don't know how to do it. You don't want to do this face to face. You want to do this over the phone, okay? I know y'all like to text everything, but this one's going to have to be a voice call. And you're going to have to say, I don't know, say her name is Sally. Say, Sally, it's become apparent to me that you want things and you want a type of man that I'm not. You want things I can't give you. You want me to do stuff that I can't do and refuse to do. So it's become apparent to me that there's no point in us continuing this relationship because I'm never going to be that guy that's like steps out of a movie and is acting a script out for you like you seem to think it's supposed to be realistic. That's very unrealistic. There's not a man in this world that's going to do that for you. If you do, you probably have to pay him. But anyway, this has been an educational experience for me. I hope you learned something as well. Boop, boop, and deuce out. And in the future, let me tell you something. There's no way in this world that you should have took this, okay? I know it's your first relationship. You probably really liked the little girl, and you didn't know that this was abnormal behavior. Well, now you do. And I'm telling you, anytime somebody starts hitting you with shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it's not like, stuff like respecting them, respecting their boundaries, respecting their property, and maybe you messed up and did something you shouldn't have done. Okay, then they hit you with a shoulda, woulda on something like that. But something like this where she's trying to like puppet marionette you to do all this stuff like you just a man on a string, this is improper. And this kind of thing, you should have never took this. The first time she cried and whined about it, say, look, I'm not doing that shit. And if this is the idea of what you want for a relationship, there's no point in us continuing this. I'm out. And that's what you should have told her that day when she pulled the first crying stint. You can tell these white people, because the white girls love to do white girl tears. They just love it, love it, love it. Black women we will cuss you out, but we're not going to cry about something stupid like this. It's just a cultural thing. So I already know about it, all the tearing and stuff. Question number 3. This is a female in the 42 to 49 age group, no location provided. She's talking about a male who's in the 50 to 56 age group. Hold on a second here. I need to get over here to where y'all is. In the chat. Yes. It's an educational experience. What they call it? A teachable moment. Yeah, Christian. You always be issuing tardy passes to Christian because she be showing up hella late. It's like, oh, how many letters are there? 21. Christian show up on the 19th letter. Oh my God, too funny. Okay, so she got no location provided. Hi, Deb. I'm a 43-year-old single mom. I met a 50-year-old single dad on an online dating app. Oh, mistake number 1. He is a financial advisor making $300,000 a year and has 2 daughters, an 18-year-old with special needs and a 14-year-old. He has full custody of both. Our first date was magical. We both found each other interesting and attractive. He even tipped our waiter $100 to impress me. After the date, we sat outside. I would have swiped it personally. I would like put down a 20. After the date, we sat outside in his Tesla and talked for hours. He called me on the drive home to book our next date. The next few dates also went great. The vibe and chemistry was amazing. He invited me to a gala and offered to buy my dress and shoes, which I graciously accepted. That night, he showed the first red flag. He started flirting with a coworker's wife right in front of me, which he blamed on drinking. We ended up being intimate that night, as was also held in the hotel we were staying in. Okay, you got a lot of details. This is like too many details that don't have nothing to do with nothing. He was not a generous lover at all. To make matters worse, the next day he was distant and cold and didn't even bother to call me. I texted him to find out what happened, and he blamed it on crashing from exhaustion. Things only got worse as I found myself begging for attention. He always blamed his daughters for taking up his time, but I suspect that was just a convenient excuse. After the gala, I invited him to a wedding. He said he would be happy to attend, but he stood me up. Sent me a picture of a tiny zit on his nose and said he was sorry, but he could not leave the house looking like that. Wow. I told him I didn't think we should talk anymore after that, to which he seemed surprised, but said he understood and that I deserved the best. I clacked back, yes, I do. He actually had the nerve to get offended by this, telling me that he blocked and deleted my number. I later forgave him and we made up. He was still barely communicating. The last straw came when we had another text conversation and talked about the dynamic between him and his exes that he shares the girls with. He said they were lousy moms who were only after his money. He got mad at me over nothing and said he would talk to me later, but 8.5 hours later I texted him asking if I said something to offend him. He said yes. I tried calling, but he would not answer. The second time I called, he hung up on me after calling me. Okay, this is it. I don't believe a word of what he said when he said he was in the middle of something with his oldest daughter and his kids come first. I don't believe a word of it since he works as a financial advisor and would not hang up on a client just because his daughter was acting out. He flaked on 2 separate trips he invited me on, which I forgave. He also had invited my son as a chance for our kids to meet and see if they got along. He instead went with a male friend. He's been ignoring me ever since, but when I ask him if he wants to end things, he says he doesn't know. He's still angry over the lose my number comment. What should I do? Girl, you should have been got rid of this fool. First of all, what is all this forgiving? You met him on a dating app. That's not your man. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, you putting all your eggs in his basket. He's a knucklehead just because he makes 300. Don't you think? Now think about this now. This is a man who's obviously financially stable. He's making 300 grand a year, right? He must not look too bad. He sounds interesting and all that. Why do you think that man is still single and on dating apps? See, that's the part that always bothers me. I mean, I could understand if somebody had said they just got divorced and they, want to get something like that, something new that they put them back out there. Somebody died, they got a divorce, they broke up a long-term relationship. But you got somebody who's just going from person to person, person to person, and they've been doing this for years. They've been on these apps and all these sites, and you go out with them, you're dumb. Okay? That person has problems. Every woman that went interacted with him before found that out, and so did you. That's how I know I would not want to be dealing with nobody like that. I'd be looking at him and seeing him fly down $100 and saying the women only want him for his money. What you think when you put down gold digger bait, you gonna catch gold digger fish, fool? That was your sign right there that something was wrong with this dude. And then what man has custody of 2 daughters? I mean, that means if he got custody, that means the women he chose to have the kids by were stupid. And that means he was stupid too. That means he picked them with his nether regions instead of his brain. And so that's what he got. 2 baby mamas. All in all, I'm going to tell you, this guy, stop chasing men. Okay? He can't have any respect for you after you keep taking him back after he dogs you out. So you keep thinking that you got a chance of stuff. This man knows that you're desperate. This is not how you conduct yourself, especially not at your age. When he didn't show up and he stood you up the first time, well, see, me, you only get one chance. But most women will give them 2 and say, well, he gonna have an excuse why he didn't come or something happened. But, I feel like, there was cell phones and stuff you could call. People have phones in their cars that, it's hooked through the dashboard. So even when they're driving, they don't have to put on an earpiece or something. They just speak through the speaker. My cousin has that in her car. I thought it was way too fancy for me. So the phone rings and she just mashes something on the steering wheel and it picks up the phone. And then she talks and it's just there. I mean, you know what I mean? So, you don't give men all these chances. Once they do something and treat you with disrespect and disregard and you stay there, you're teaching them that you have no self-esteem, no self-respect, and are desperate and groveling, willing to grovel and beg for attention. That's what you're teaching him. And a man in his powerful kind of job where he had to really be a mover and shaker to get to where he is, he's never going to respect you. So you need to just let this go. You never going to get nothing out of this guy. Nothing. Except dog out some more. That would be what would happen. This is the kind of thing, I don't know. And at his age, he's talking about his kids come first. Clown. That 18-year-old is grown. Okay? He's not a kid. I don't know. All in all, I'm not saying anything here that you should have invested all this time in and all these chances in, and you should have been dating 3 or 4 dudes, okay? And see, for me, once I slept with him, and then it was trash. You know what my saying is, trash D. That would have been it. I would have got up and said, "Oh, it was nice knowing you. I'm out." One thing I'm not gonna deal with is no trash D. I don't care how much money you got, what you look like, nothing. I don't care about anything. Because it's like, what would I be with you for then? You know, how you going to have a relationship with somebody and they serving up trash D? I mean, I'm not the kind that's going to be in a relationship for it either. You know, I mean, but if I'm deciding I'm going to be committed to you as an adult, that is an important component of our relationship. If you're not giving it up right, I don't have any reason to stay with you. You know, I'm not so old yet that I want to just sit there in a rocking chair and hold hands. We ain't there yet. Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, dude would have been so fired. I, I won't even tell you all the horrible conversations and names I've called people that was trying to serve me some trash. Like, I'm trying to be good, so Google won't flag this video. I'm trying to be halfway decent with my mouth. It's a struggle. But yeah, girlfriend, get it together. Get it together. Okay? You went out with him, it was good a couple of times, and he started acting stupid, and that's when you should have dropped him and moved on to the next one. But like I said, usually, you know, you just meet these dudes, you should be dealing with 2 or 3 of them at the same time anyway. He should have been getting all your time. He wasn't his woman going through all them changes over this clown. Please. Female, 28 to 34 from England. She's a Cancer. Writing about a male in the 28 to 34 age group who is a Taurus. That should be a good match. Dear Deb, I went on 2 dates with a guy I've known for a few years and thought that they went well. We both seemed attracted to each other, and on the second date, it lasted 10 hours. Wow. During the day, nothing physical, and he seemed to want to extend it even further. I see what you said, Amina. Kristen over there laughing. I already had the impression that he wasn't a great texter, but when I went on holiday for 2 weeks following the second date, I didn't hear from him once. He told me to call him when I got back, so I did. About 2 minutes into the phone call, he said he had to take another call, but he would call me back later and hung up on me. He didn't call back that evening, but texted me a short apology the next day and asked me how my night was. Since then, I haven't responded and have decided this is a red flag / deal breaker because of how rude it was and how much it hurt my feels. Would you agree I should trust my gut, or do you think I'm being too rash? And if people aren't interested after the date, why aren't they just honest about it? What's the point of breadcrumbing people and dragging it out? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how you jumped from 2 dates to a relationship with commitment and obligations where he need to be reporting to you and responding to you like you his woman. Where did you get that from? You said 2 dates. 2 dates is 2 dates. That ain't your man. He don't owe you crap. And he said he had to take another call. Did it ever occur to you that you called him? See, when I call people, the first thing I ask them is now a good time to talk. That's the first thing out of my mouth. You know why? Because people are busy. People have lives. Especially a lot of times, you call somebody during the daytime, they're working, right? They're working, they may be working at home or working off some other location, and they answer the phone because it's you. But can they get into a 20-minute conversation right now? No. They just gonna say hi, what's up? If it's something quick, they can talk to you. But if it's gonna be something long, I ask them, well, are you busy? You have time to talk, or you want me to call you back later? I give them that option. And a lot of times, like they will say, well, I'm in the middle of something right now. How about in about 20 minutes? Or how about in an hour? I'll call you when, later when I'm back home. Something like that. Okay, so then that person has the time for you. But you didn't do that. You just expected just because you called him when you got back that he's supposed to just be dropped everything and be waiting and hovering like a perched bird, wait for your phone to ring and it be you. So I'm going to tell you this. First of all, you handled this wrong. Okay, you don't give no man 10 hours of your time. That shows them that you don't have shit going on at yourself. Who does that? If I'm spending 10 hours with somewhere, you better be paying me. Okay? I mean, in bucks, big bucks, not no minimum wage. 10 hours of my time? No. You're not going to do that. So you don't get it. That's the first mistake you made. He tried to pack a whole bunch of time in thinking he was going to get them draws. That's what that was about. Okay, then you say he wasn't a good texter. Well, you a little old to be texting in the 28 to 34 age group, don't you think? In your age group, men and women should be talking on the phone or talking face to face, not having whole conversations by text. Okay, then the third thing, so you went on holidays and you didn't hear from him once. Why do you think he should have heard from you? He's not your man. You just went on 2 dates. You keep forgetting that part. He didn't owe you anything, chick. Okay, so then you come back and you call him because he said, just let me know when you get back. Okay, everybody's gonna say that. Doesn't mean they really mean it. Okay, and you called him back with all these expectations that he was gonna drop everything and rush over and see you or something. That's what this is inferring to me. The way that you are responding so emotionally. And now because he didn't respond the way you want to, and he had stuff to do, you go over there pouting. Go and date somebody else. So it's the kind of thing like if you hear from him, you hear from him. If you don't, it's fine too. If you call and he calls and you want to go out with him, then you go. But your dance card should be filled with other people. All the people that you're gonna meet online are crazy anyway. So what difference does it make? Just exchange him for some other crazy. It's about the same thing. I don't see what the big deal is. Nutty folks. Anyway, let's move on. Yes, hit that like button. Thank you. Hit that like and the subscribe. That would be ideal. Question number 5. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from Los Angeles, California. I recently started talking with someone I'm romantically interested in. He has a very strong presence on social media that I won't mention because I know lots of people are familiar with him and he gives romantic dating advice. Oh, I see. Candace put a note here that she also posted this on some other site and sent it to me too. Okay. I don't know if I like that. Okay, but whatever. He lives 2 hours by plane away from me, and we met in the private DMs of a popular social site, probably Facebook. We've been FaceTiming back and forth, and he seems very interested in talking with me as he asked to FaceTime again tomorrow. Now, I'm actually a fan of the general things he was saying in some of his videos, and I truly had a good time on both FaceTimes that we did. However, he said something that really stuck me the wrong way. And while I tried not to put him on a pedestal because he's an online dating coach himself, I can't help but wonder if this is exactly why he's single. We're quite opposite in terms of interests, but in terms of life goals, values, and our lifestyles, we seem to definitely align. Here's what struck me the wrong way, though. He said that I must know that he doesn't like to plan stuff. And when I asked him what he meant, he said he'd rather just show up or that he's a very punctual person when it comes to the plan itself, that he hates setting things up. The analogy he made was towards like a vacation. And then he proceeded to say, like on vacation, the only things he'll typically book is the actual flight. But other than that, little details like the itinerary he doesn't care to do. Hmm. The vacation analogy was fine, but then when I confronted him about it, if he means he also doesn't like to, in other situations like planning a date, he said he does and that he doesn't mind, but that's not his forte and such, but he will most definitely do it. Hmm. Deb, all my exes, when I think about it, have really been planners. Naturally, such men are when they are trying to pursue you. So I really did not understand what the hell he meant by this and think that it might be a red flag that I definitely don't want to ignore. What are your thoughts? Should I bring this up to clarify what he meant next time we talk? Because up until today, I realized that I do think that that to me personally, it's important for a man to be assertive in his plans. I can't always be the one doing the work. I don't mind making plans and focusing on attention to detailed things, but I also feel like it accidentally came out of him to almost like warn me. I don't know how to take this. It means he's trash. That's what it means. I don't care that he's an online dating coach. Have y'all seen all these various scandals that have been coming out from these dudes? That don't mean nothing. You putting him up on a pedestal. Take him off. Now, let me tell you, when a dude tells you, I don't like to plan, what he means is he's got a roster. Let me just break this down for you because you don't seem to understand. That means he has a roster of chicks, women, whatever, and that when one is busy that he might want to spend some time with, he going to ring around until he finds one who's willing to drop everything or don't have nothing going on to, do something with him without him planning. That's what that means. That means that your schedule and your life is so on hold and so unbusy and so non-planned, or you focusing so much on spending time with him that you rearrange things when he calls at the drop of the dime so that you could be with him. That's what he's looking for. That's what that means. Okay. That's what that means. So all you have to do is tell him, well, I can see that we have some basic, value differences, and I like to arrange my time. I like to have things scheduled so I know what's going to happen. I can, have my outfits ready. I can have my stuff ready. I can be rested. I can do all my work that I need to do and get it done and out of the way. I like to, make plans. So it doesn't really work for me to have a man calling me at the last minute trying to get me to do anything. Because, most likely I'm going to be already have made plans with some of my friends or family or even some coworkers. So that really probably won't work. But, I was glad you slid into my DMs. It was interesting talking to you and getting to meet somebody. I enjoy watching your videos. But, there's nothing else going on here for us. But thanks. And then you boop, boop, out. That's what you do. Girl, this is like, she putting way too much on it. Like it's some big, profound statement. When men don't want to plan, that means you are option. Okay. I don't know how much more blunt to make this. You are option. You not don't have no kind of priority in their life. And then he gonna see you. You gonna get in where you fit in. He gonna see you when he see you. That's what that means. Now you don't want to have a relationship like that. That's not something you're interested in at your age. Then you just deuce out. Just because that's what he's offering, that don't mean you have to take it. Just think about those parties, right? They come by the little people with their black pants and the black apron and the white shirt, and they have them trays of hors d'oeuvres, right? They have the hors d'oeuvres, and they walking around with the hors d'oeuvres, and you look at the hors d'oeuvres, and you're like, oh, that look interesting. What's that? And then they tell you what it is, and that it don't like to plan, and you be like, oh, I don't think I want that. I don't think that's gonna be too tasty. I don't like irritate my stomach. It's gonna get on my nerves. So you take that hors d'oeuvre on over there somewhere, and they gonna keep walking. They gonna keep walking, and they gonna find somebody who wants that hors d'oeuvre, but that ain't you. Okay, that's the best analogy I can come up with at the top of my head. So that's how it is, though. Yeah, I mean it's true. It's just he offering, and you don't have to taste it. Okay, you just look at it, and you can look at it, and you can smell it. Like, oh, that don't look good. I don't want that. And then you pass it by, and that's all he's doing. He's letting you know what time it is. You don't want to go. Move on. Question number 6. Female, 28 to 34. She's an Aries from Toronto, Canada. Not the most politically correct question, but I know you don't care about stuff like that anyway. You're right. Dad, would you go out with a relatively short man? Info. I'm just under 5'6". Oh, you're probably about the same height as me. And he's the same height as me. I've never gone out with a man the same height as me before. This prospect feels a bit odd. He's also very lightly built, which seems to emphasize his shortness. Oh my God, so he's not only short, he's petite? I can't do petite men, I'm sorry. I've read that men routinely lie about their height on dating sites due to how many women feel about this and their preferences, etc. How do you feel about it? Would you go out with him or nah? Yeah, I probably would. You know why? Because I've gone out with some guys who are, my height, maybe just an inch or two shorter than me. I mean, taller than me. But by the time I put on heels, then I was, looking him in his eye anyway. They were maybe, I don't know, 5'7", 5'8". But they tended to treat me better. You might want to think about that because they get passed by so much that when they find somebody who is really interested in them for them and not looking at his height as a deterrent, they show up. Now, I'm not going to say this is everybody. I'm not saying this is a rule. I'm just telling you that's been my experience. They showed up, and they showed up well. The guys who are tall know that they're in bigger demand because short women want them and tall women want them. So they tend to be less honorable, less committed, although some of the short ones are trash too. But I'm just telling you what my experience has been. They treated me very well, very well. So I would say go out. Don't let that be a deterrent because what's the man's height is not what's going to make you happy in a relationship, okay? And if he knows how to put it down, you're going to be smiling and cheesing, and it won't matter with his height because once you lay down, everybody's the same height. That's all that matters is what lines up well, okay? So don't worry about that part. Go out with him and then have yourself a good time and just, see what happens. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it because then, like I said, You don't have to like lean back. You know, when they too tall, your neck be hurting because they want you to, to lean up so they can kiss you, and they want to kiss you a long time, and your neck be hurting and shit. And then they, they want to hold your hand right, and they like 2 feet taller than you, so your hand is up in the air like you 2 years old holding mommy's hand. I don't know. I don't like it when they're too tall. So I think give it a try so you can have the experience at least. Let's see what he's talking about. The only thing that's bothering me is the fact that he's petite. Oh my God, it might be that guy I went out with. Okay. He told me he was, he was probably about 5'8". But then when I was talking to him, when we met for the date, he told me, I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh my God, this man is positively petite. And he come in the door and we talk, and I said, oh, what size neck do you wear? And he told me that he shops in the children's department. That was it. I was done. I was done. I was done. There was nothing I could do with this man. He was an older cat, but he was just so tiny, just tiny. And he wasn't, like, traditionally you people think about Asian men being small. He was not Asian. This man was just too small for me. I had to let that go. Plus he smoked. Ugh. You 4'10", child, you a smurf. Oh my God. She 4'10". Oh. Question number 7. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group. He's an Aquarius from Kansas City, Kansas. I'm 21 and have been friends with this slightly older girl. She's 24 for a year. We are both really physically attracted to each other. Lately, though, she has been really pushing to get busy with me. But I know our friendship will fail because we will get attached to each other too hard. Meanwhile, I don't want a relationship with her. I don't know what to do. Oh, okay. For full disclosure, Deb, I am often approached by women, and I'm considered a tall, handsome guy, and I stay in shape. But I have always been insecure about my Johnson size. I am 5.3 inches. Oh my God, he had to put that 0.3 on there. It also adds to my reason why I don't want to get intimate with her. Since she's older and more experienced, I think she will be disappointed by my size. Plus, I know that adding intimacy will make her feelings triple, and eventually we will lose each other's friendship because I'm not ready for a relationship, and she will think adding all that to our friendly meetings will be the start of something. What should I do? She is very frustrated, and I feel very unsure. Yeah, because I heard the world average is 6. So he's below average. Not that I, have done a test myself, a randomized study. No, I'm just saying what I read. I read everything. Yeah, and there was a study done, and they said that German men tend to have the smallest ones. I thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe that's why Hitler was mad. He was mad. I'm making bad jokes, but you know what I mean. I thought that was an interesting, study because I'm thinking, who would make a study on that? I mean, do you have to measure it yourself? Do they line up and you just stick out and measure it? And or is there a difference between, like the two versions of it? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to be delicate. Do they measure both? How did that study go down? I was very curious, but I didn't have any detail, and so I just left me wondering how that worked. But dude, I'm gonna tell you one thing that you might be worried about. You worried about if you get intimate that she's gonna be in love and all this other stuff. That's not gonna happen. If she's disappointed in your size, trust me, you'll go back to being friends pronto with no problem, buddy. No problem at all. So, but I'm thinking, she's a little old for you. 3 years, if you like in your later 20s or 30s, would be nothing. You know what I mean? That would be nothing. But you just made 21 and she's already 24, and she's had a lot more life experience than you. That's a hard age to bridge that gap. And I'm gonna say that this is what you should do is just tell her, we've been friends and everything, and I can see that there's been some interest. I can read that there's more interest in pushing to something else. And I'm going to tell you that's never going to happen. We're just going to be friends. If you can't handle that, platonic friends, if you can't handle that, that's too frustrating for you or too whatever, I'll understand. And, whatever. setup can't hide. Woo! Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Christian, if they just reported it. But then whoever on the report and just say that they were that little, I'm thinking they had to come in and be measured. And it was very scientific. And I'm wondering, oh, who did that? Who handled those body parts and took the measurements? I just thought it was amazing. I was rolling. But yeah, that's a hard one. But what you might want to consider is don't have yourself any female friends, especially you looking like that and you're both single. That's a setup for disaster because you're gonna know each other and be comfortable with each other, and of course she's gonna get attached to you, and she's gonna wanna, she knows you ain't seeing nobody else. She's like, well, what's wrong with me? Let me take a turn on that ride, and you like, oh no, because I know you're gonna be like, where's the rest of it? So you scared. I'm sorry, I'm making bad jokes, but you hear what I'm saying. You got to put some boundaries up in basically, and just tell her that that's not gonna happen, okay? And that you understand if she can't be friends anymore. Question number 8, female, 18 to 21 from Manchester. No HGD, we're not going to do that. She's 24. She's not trying to have all that. She wants something else. Yeah, that would be like, oh, what happened there? Anyway, let's move on. Female, 18 to 21 from Manchester, England. I recently had my 20th birthday and I'm mixed race African and English. I need to know how do I know when I'm confident enough to date? I have been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and worry about everything, thus taking my confidence. Can you help me? I just went through this long rabbit hole of online searching to find out if guys care if women wear hair extensions. Because I'm looking to start dating, but I'm so nervous about how guys would think of girls like me who wear fake pieces. For context, I have never been in a long-term relationship before. Currently, I am on a dating app and get a lot of swipes from guys in my area, but I'm getting scared that they may think I'm catfishing with my hair extensions in my pictures. My natural hair is really thin, short, and curly. I feel more confident with the fuller hair look that my extensions give, so I add in short curly extensions that are about the same hair texture as my real hair and about 4 inches longer than my real hair. Is adding extensions something that you have to tell guys before you start dating them, or am I overthinking things? I've held off dating for a long time due to my struggles with social anxiety and depression. I've been in therapy for so long and I'm even on anxiety medication. Does being so worried about what men might think of me indicate that I'm still not confident enough to date? Yes, it does. Not only that, I'm concerned about this. You talking about you already got anxiety, generalized anxiety, and worry about everything, honey. Start interacting with these knucklehead men. You will go into orbit, okay? Your anxiety will be off the chart. You will be able to launch yourself to the moon. That's how much anxiety you're going to have. Adding, okay, I know you want companionship and all this kind of stuff over here, but in order to do that, in order to attract a healthy partner, in order to, maintain a healthy relationship with somebody, you have to be healthy yourself, and you're not. So when you have issues that's going to make you be attractive to some dysfunctional individual, you're going to be putting yourself at risk. Do I advise you to start dating? No. I advise you to get a different therapist, though. You say you've been in therapy so long, but you've been with the same person. Change up. You need a new approach because it don't sound like nothing's changed and you've been with the same person all this time. That means that person, whatever effectiveness that they were offering, it ain't working no more. Get you somebody else, okay? Get you someone else. Preferably find yourself a woman of color. Then you will, you have somebody that you'll be able to relate to a little bit better. Okay? And then talk about these things. Because you need to figure out at 20 years old, what the hell do you have to be anxious about? You ain't done nothing yet. You ain't been nowhere. And you haven't even had any relationship drama to be making you anxious. What are you anxious about? See, y'all, what I was telling you about the parenting? Parenting is screwing up these kids. They all anxious and depressed and all this stuff. No confidence. You didn't talk about your parenting, but I'm sure that that's at the basis of it. You're too young for it to not be. You just out the nest. You probably still live at home. Yeah, one thing you don't want to get off the dating app because that's like a cesspool of dysfunctional nutcases. Get off of there. Work on your mental and emotional health. Become solid and whole first. Then you can worry about a relationship. Somebody who's got all these issues, you're not even going to be able to recognize somebody who's not good for you when they come waltzing into your life. You have no experience and you are like not, no, no. So you right, you worried about something, but what you worried about is the wrong thing. You worried about men thinking about your hair. They don't care about your hair. What I'm worried about is men seeing you as a victim, because you just ripe for the victimization. You don't know nothing, and you just too anxious. So you're gonna be the kind that's gonna be trying to please. Just judging by the way that you wrote this letter, you're a people pleaser. You think that you need to be something special for men to like you. The bottom line is what you need to say about men is, I don't give a damn what you like. That's the attitude that you need to have when you're dealing with men. They either like what you got or they get to stepping. That's it. Those are your two choices, A and B. There's no C except to see your way out the door. Maybe that. But other than that's it. There's no, you don't worry about what men like. You don't worry about what men think, what men want, nothing. You don't worry about men at all. You know how many millions of them there are? It's like a bus, okay? You just wait, there'll be another 20 of them coming along. So you don't have to worry about what one thinks. And if he likes you, and if you need to do what he likes and wear what he likes, and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God. Little girl, find you a different shrink. That's your first order of business. Question number 9. Female in the 22 to 27 age group from Atlanta metro area in Georgia, talking about a female in the 28 to 34 age group. Okay, so one's 22 to 27, one's 22 to 34. Okay, got it. Man, she just like, they're going to be like, ooh, look, like she got a target on her forehead. Okay, so she writes, my older sister is struggling. I need suggestions on how to help her without crossing over into enabling. She's struggling. She's not working, kind of refuses to work, but question mark. She's 27, currently pregnant, a few months along, and has 2 children already. Her boyfriend is 26 and he works full time, but he has no car and her car is about to get repossessed. They live in a trailer and are behind on their $500 a month rent. My mom used to help until my sister never paid her back except with hate and disrespect and no intentions of bettering herself. She's very stubborn, but I feel I can teach her more than anything else because I'm her only sister. I'm not teacher, reacher, I'm sorry. Being only 22 is hard for me to put myself out there, but I feel I have to for my blood. If it were me, I know she would do the same if she could. I feel she holds on to childhood trauma and past events and uses them as a crutch where I use it as miracle grow. Any advice for me? Yes, you're not going to do nothing. And this sounds like it's going to be hard because you in that, it's my blood trip. You tripping about that kind of stuff. Your sister is stupid, okay? First of all, how you going to have no job and have no money and you popping out babies right and left? You see that you can't even survive with what you got, the people you feed and help clothing and housing right now. You're not doing a good job of it. So you're going to add another one to the mix? They're going to have to buy diapers and stuff now, formula. On top of all other stuff they can't pay. I'm gonna say this: with just as the help that you're gonna give your sister, you're gonna give her the phone number to welfare, and you're gonna give her the phone number to food stamps, and you're gonna give her the phone number to what they call age for dependent children, whatever that is, AFDC. And you're gonna give her, if he ain't the father of the other two, you're gonna give her the phone number for the child support office. And then you're going to say, don't ask me for nothing. I'm not giving you no money. I'm not helping you pay no bills because you had no business having another kid to add to your misery. So since you made a stupid choice, you're going to have to deal with the stupid consequences. It ain't my problem. Now, that's what she would get from me. Once is a mistake, twice is a habit. And by the time you're on the third row, you just made this your lifestyle. So she would be dealing with that by herself. So whoever the baby's daddy is and them other two, that's who she need to be looking at for some money, not you. So, anything that you try to say, like, without being codependent. Anything that you do in a situation like this where someone is choosing not to better themselves, choosing to sit on their butt, choosing to keep popping out babies when she don't have no money, anything that you do would put you in the codependent category. These are problems that she needs to solve for herself. That's what codependency is. When they have the ability to change their lives and solve their own problems, but you step in and do it for them. That's codependency. She needs to get a job like everybody else. Okay? That's it. You don't do nothing for her. And the baby daddy, he got a full-time job. Get two. You ain't making enough money to pay your rent. Get two jobs. What you doing the rest of the time when you ain't working? You only sleep 8 hours, Negro. That gives you 8 more hours to work on somebody's job. At least 5 of those. Find a second job. That's what he need to do. Because he want to be with somebody who just want to be a baby maker. Question number 10. Female, 28 to 34 from Coventry, England. My partner of 8 months or so wants to move in with me in the next 6 months to a year. Things are going well, and he's a great man in many respects. He has a job he's held for a very long time and lives alone with his teenage son. We, however, do very little together. We haven't been out for dinner more than once or to the cinema ever. Played pool or been to pubs maybe 8 times, and only if I arrange things. So you've been dealing with him for 6 months, okay. Generally, he comes over and we have dinner and play board games or watch a movie. Fine, as I have a 4-year-old daughter and sitters are expensive. Okay, wait, so he has a teen son and you have a 4-year-old daughter? That's not a good thing. However, I recently started to push to go out more on child-free days, and it turns out that he can't due to lack of money, and we only do stuff if I pay for us both. I was surprised as he earns well and has the same disposable income as me each month after bills. Turns out he goes through almost 600 quid. Okay, my UK people, how much is that in American dollars? What is a quid? In 10 days, leaving him with under 60 quid till payday for the next 2 weeks. He often borrows from mates at the end of the month. He says it's just on food and snacks. He doesn't own a car. I know everyone does stuff differently, but is that a normal spending pattern or does it scream addiction of some kind? I don't want his money or to be involved, but I need to be able to do stuff and have a life, especially if planning to cohabit. What do you think about this, sister? I think you should deuce out. Number one, okay, this is the first thing I'm afraid of. Teenage boys and little girls, bad combination. Bad combination. You don't know this kid. Your daughter don't know this kid. Not like that. That's a bad combination. It's gonna expose your daughter to too much potential drama. I'm not down with that at all. Okay. Number two, what are you in a relationship for if you don't go nowhere, you don't do nothing? All he does is come to your house and eat up your food and sit on your couch and drink up your liquor. What are you getting out of this? Some D? You know you could get that free. You don't have to pay for it. You definitely don't move in with it. As far as what he's doing, what's 600? Did somebody say what quid is? Oh, that's $736 in US dollars. So he's spending up $700 and he done run out of money. So he got to borrow money. Oh no, it's some kind of something. Either he's OnlyFans person, he's got a gambling addiction, or he's got a substance abuse problem. It's one of them three. It can't be anything else. Okay, one of them three. None of which is good to have around your daughter or to move in with. So, you are getting a handle on it. You're feeling that this is a mistake, and you know something's not right, which is why you asking. But you need to sit down with him and just tell him, this relationship really isn't giving me what I want or what I need, and we're not going to be moving in together. As a matter of fact, we're going to break up. 6 months of this is long enough. I'm not a high school student. I want a man who can take me places and do stuff for me, and I don't want to be the one always paying for it. It makes it seem like, whatever you spend your $700 on every month, you don't spend it on me. You don't spend it on doing anything and that's to better this relationship. So there's no point in me being here. That's what you need to tell him. Because whatever he's doing with that $700, he can go keep on doing it. And not try to get free meals to fund, supplement his budget by eating at your house all the time. You don't see the trick there? That's what that's about. He borrowed money to only have 60 quid left. and got to borrow money for the end of the month for food and stuff. That's why he at your house all the time. Girl, if you don't get rid of this bum. Question number 11. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from London. Oh my God, so many UK letters today. I'm 19 and due to give birth soon, and I haven't heard from my ex in months. I tried to make it work, but he just completely shut down and shut me out and ran away. He's 41. What? Not a kid, and he doesn't have any other children. The pregnancy was a surprise, but he had apparently always wanted kids and spoke a lot about it, etc. I've never asked him directly what his plans were with the baby, as he literally cut me off and wouldn't respond to me, and I've never heard from him since. No other woman is involved, not that it's relevant, I don't think, but we had an argument and that was that. But it looks like he's got no interest. Is he really not going to get in touch? Do men really abandon their babies like that? Where have you been living, child, that you don't know this? Is it common? I just can't get my head around it. I mean for the baby and seeing them rather than for the relationship. I will claim CMS, whatever that is. Maybe child monthly support or something. I don't know. But it all feels so weird. I just can't get my head around it. How can he just get on with life and ignore his child? Because he don't give a shit about you or that kid. First of all, let's go back to the age difference here. Do you realize that you were victimized? This was a predator. You are just on the other side of legal. This man is old enough to be your daddy. What in the world were you doing? Where are your parents? This is something that, guidance and some protective messaging. I mean, not to say that they can stop you, but it would be nice if someone had stepped in and pointed out to you that this man is preying on you, that he's old enough to be your father, and that you're just still wet behind the ears, fresh out of childhood. There's no way in this world that you should have had anything to do with this man. So my suggestion is here: reach out to some. When you go to the hospital, tell them that you want to get a baby up for adoption, and to find a nice home for it. And then you pop that baby out and you get on with your life. You get your little ignorant ass back in school. You learn something and you make something of yourself. You're gonna put yourself on some birth control, and you're not gonna mess around with anybody that's more than 5 years older than you. If he's 26, that's too old. If he's 25, that's too old. You're going to go for 24 and under. Do you feel me? This is ridiculous. This man took such advantage of the fact that you don't even know that this happens worldwide shows that he saw you coming. He just saw some fresh meat, fresh off the boat, naive as hell, don't know nothing, young lady, and he talked you into doing something that you had no business doing. I kind of feel sorry for you, but you can still save yourself from this. Do not ruin your life with this baby. Do not ruin your chances at anything. You need to unload this dead weight, give that baby up for adoption. People love a baby, so the baby will find a good home and be well taken care of and well loved. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. And you go on with your life. Take care of that tomorrow. Okay? Take care of that tomorrow. You do not need to be bogged down with this at 19. Please don't do this to yourself. Okay, just let this go. And they're gonna say, do you know who the father is? You say no. So you can give it up for adoption. I don't know who it is. That's what you're gonna say, because otherwise they're gonna want to get in touch with him and get his permission and all this old stuff here. No, I don't know who the daddy is. There's nobody. Question number 12, female, 28 to 34 age group, from Swansea, Wales in the UK. I was having a laugh with my other half who thinks he's going to get out of nappy changing. Oh, nappies are diapers, huh? He won't. I'm pregnant, 20 weeks now. He isn't being serious and we are making jokes. He is a really great person, very hands-on with it all so far. But the baby ain't popped out yet, so it's easy to be hands-on when there ain't nothing there to do. I've always felt this vibe of my in-laws, though, with everything I've ever said. We seem to be very different. He was a massive mummy's boy till he met me a few years back, and I gave him the confidence to believe in himself, as I don't do all the mommy boy nonsense. I think I've said, why do you need to run everything past your mom when you're in your 30s? He has stopped quite a bit and taken control of his stuff. But I don't think his parents are really keen on me, even though I'm quite a nice person, I think. The joke continued today on a trip to his parents, and they said, well, nappy changing is a peak job. They're only in their early 50s, and I'm in my early 30s, so I wouldn't have thought that they would be so old-fashioned. They tend to make me feel like I'm somehow pushing their son. I don't see it as a pink job. We are about to live together. I have almost paid my own house, him probably 50% of his. I would like to return to work part-time, which is going to change the nappy. Oh, who's going to change the nappy then? I'm not someone going into this needing him to take care of me financially. So he has to work and I will stay at home kind of trope role. I keep getting really weird vibes off of his parents. Their other daughter-in-law is extremely opposite of me. Her kids are everything. She refused to work after finding out that she was pregnant, and that was 8 years ago. She's a brilliant housewife, all the dinners cooked, etc., and her husband doted on. But Dad, that really isn't me, and I don't think they like me because I believe this is a shared role. What would you do if you were in my shoes? I would tell her, look here, Mama, your son went in half on this baby. Okay, I didn't make it by myself. So since he went in half on, he also gonna be going in half on the diaper changing, on the feeding, on the babysitting and the bathing, and just rattle off all the chores that he's gonna do. Half of it, because that's how we roll. We have a partnership, and I'm not gonna assume responsibility for all of it by myself. I already had all responsibility for these 9 months. Once it pops out, it's a 50-50 job, baby. If not, it's 70-30, because I've already put in 100% for months. So he's got some catching up to do. Something like that. That's what was snark that would come out of my mouth. It's like, well, that might be how you want to do things, but I'm not you. And he knew that wasn't you, and he knows that we roll differently in our household. That's not going to happen. Now, when he's over with you and you want to change the nappies, feel free. But if he's at home with me, he's going to be rolling up his sleeve and he's going to be changing them poopy diapers just like I do. The end. I mean, what? If you tell her that part about, he went in half on it because, they don't like to think about their precious angels having sex. They don't like to think about that part. So you just remind her that that's how the baby got here. And he had a good old time making that baby. Yeah, I would rub it in. I would say all kind of stuff that would be foul and that have her like covering her ears. But yeah, say so since all that happened, and I couldn't have done it all by myself, and he was there having a grand old time, then I think that, half the responsibility is his now that the baby's here. That's what I think. You mean, But I have been known. Wasn't that the best movie? I have been known to say some really crass and crude things to people's mothers. But, to me, they ask for it. It's like, don't say nothing to me. You want to talk smack, you talk and say it to your child. I have a daddy and a mama, and they don't look like you. So you don't tell me nothing, lady. And then I proceed to tell them about themselves and tell them about kind of stuff that I be doing with their sons, and they just be looking disturbed. Like, yeah, that's why he gonna listen to me and not to you. See? But that's why your husband listens to you, because, how it is, girlfriend. You want a mother-in-law who don't speak English and is blind? No, you don't. You don't want that. You crazy. Leandra's out of her mind. Okay, let's see. How many questions did I say we have today? Oh, my God, I'm getting tired already. It's 2021, and this is only number 13. Okay, here we go with question number 13. This is a female in the 22 to 28 age group. She is a Cancer, and she's from Nashville, Tennessee. Today is Saturday, June 18th. My ex got married today. We broke up just 6 months ago. I guess this is more of a rant than asking for advice from you, but I do want to know what you think. He emotionally abused the hell out of me for 3 years and left me with permanent emotional scars. When I finally left, he got with another woman right away. 6 months later, they are married. He gets to be happy, and I'm here lonely and damaged. I'm healing, and I'm in a much better place than I was before, but this caught me off guard and set me back. I keep wondering why I was treated so badly while she gets him for forever after only 6 months. It's not that I want him, trust me, I don't, but it just hurts. Life is so unfair sometimes. Boot me back into reality, Deb. Okay. All right. You don't want him. He emotionally abused you for 3 years. Please explain to me why he got the opportunity to mostly abuse you for more than one day, maybe two at the most. Because like I said, a lot of women like to give him, another chance. Okay, but by the time he did it that second time, that was showing you a pattern of disrespect and disregard. But yet you stuck around for 3 more years. What, did you want him to marry you so he could continue that train wreck? Is that what you mad? You mad because somebody else married him? You don't know what their relationship is like. He might be treating her just like you, but she's stupid enough to want to marry it. Whereas you got to escape. But I have a feeling if he asked you, you probably would have said yes. Because you sound like that type. But this is the thing about it. See, this is why I think women who stick around in these relationships where they get disrespected, they get used, financially abused, emotionally abused, physically abused, disrespected, cheated on, lied to, all kinds of stuff, and yet you stick around. And he sticks around because why not? You giving him stuff and he don't have to do nothing for it, and he gets the entertainment of mistreating you, and you still stay. So in a situation like this, you can only blame yourself because you should have been so far away from him. For years you should have been gone that you wouldn't even notice what he was doing. And you're saying it hurts that he married somebody else. I mean, why is that hurting you? You escaped an abusive relationship. Focus on that. You should be happy and thrilled about the fact that you're not in that situation no more, instead of worrying about the other problem that transferred over to some other woman. But see, this is what I was gonna say too. It's like it's probably not a rebound marriage. He didn't love her. You can only be a rebound when you love the person. He never loved her. When you treat somebody like this is not love. This is using. Okay. So most likely he was cheating on her and was with this woman before and just still using her maybe for a place to stay, for whatever benefits she provided. And then he found somebody who made him respect her and made him act right and made him perform like a man. And so he has great respect for her. He can love her because when men respect and love go hand in hand. They cannot love you if they don't respect you. I think a lot of women don't understand that. Men have to admire you. They have to think you're the shit, the bomb, like you're a prize. And then he can fall in love with you. Other than that, he's just going to be looking at you like you're crazy and not really having any kind of real emotional attachment to you. Because women like you are a dime a dozen. He doesn't have anything to appreciate about you. There's nothing about you that makes you special. That's the part that so many women don't get. But he said he loves me. But his behavior is showing that he doesn't. What you gonna believe? The words of what he's doing and how he's talking to you and what he's treating you. That tells you the real truth. Words don't mean nothing. So I thought it was just very interesting that so many women don't understand that. So I don't know what you want me to say to you other than you just being stupid. You just an emotional drama queen. The man is married to somebody else. He don't give a shit about you. He didn't give a shit about you the 3 years that you was with him. Okay? So understand what time it is. Get your behind to a therapist and start your healing journey. That's what you need to do. Oh, oops. Part of the letter on the bottom of this page. Okay. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 28 age group. She's a Virgo from Moreno Valley, California. I'm a 24-year-old female. What do you suggest I do if a man stares at my chest during a conversation? Has this ever happened to you or anyone on the squad? Okay, so she's asking you talking to a man and he's staring at your boobage instead of looking you in the eye. How do you handle it? That's what so you guys have a comment? Put that into the chat stream. Okay, so she says, here's the scenario. I'm talking regular casual conversation like this particular encounter was with a coworker. And as I'm talking to him, I'm noticing that he's looking at my chest. We wear aprons at our job, and I wear sweaters underneath it because I'm self-conscious about my body. So we were just talking because it got slow, and as I'm talking to him, he just blatantly looks in the direction of my chest a couple of times. And while I'm looking him in the eye, talking to him, I don't know, I thought that was intense. He never seemed weird about it or anything. If anything, he's super nonchalant, but always cool. So I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. What do you think? What would you do or say in a situation like this? I'd be like, hello, my eyes are up here. I've said that to people. My eyes are up here. And they get all embarrassed and, Then after that, they start giving you the death glare because they want to make sure they don't look at it again, right? So they just looking you dead in your face and just blinking and stuff. Then they never take their eyes off your face after that. It's really funny. Yeah, no, you don't look at his chest. You look at his package. You look down, but he's looking up, looking down at what you got. You looking down at what he got. And make sure that you show a sign of, huh, that it? That's all you got? Gotta fix them. You can do that. Yeah, this is just, I don't know, this is so rude and just so crass. And like these guys don't have no game and no kind of gentlemanly decorum. Who does that? That's just so lowbrow. Exactly. Where's the beef? It ain't even a beef hot dog. Just a waste of time. Just filling up your pants with nothing. Anyway, let me move on. I'm going into a direction I don't need to go. Question number 15. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Hamilton, New Zealand. My boyfriend and I have been together for a year and a few days. He rents a flat and I rent my flat. He spends a lot of time here and says it's a waste of money. He caused a massive argument because I said I wanted to wait till the end of the year to move in together. He said he doesn't see the point in this relationship unless he moves in now, and we must clearly want different things. Huh. I do love him. I just don't want to move in together yet. He keeps banging on about money and how much we would save. I don't know what to do. Oh, that's it? That's it? What you do is tell him I don't want to move in with you. And he feels like he's wasting time because he's just looking for a roommate to help alleviate his 50% of his housing costs. Well, then he could go find that because there's a whole bunch of women that write this advice column. They knew a dude for 2 weeks and they moving in with him. But that's not you. And if you don't want to move in with them because it does cause a whole host of problems, then just say that and say, if that would you want that to be the end of the relationship, I'm fine with that. And let him go and don't let anybody pressure you into doing anything, giving up your space, your time, your energy, your home if you don't want to. And you tell him, look, if I wanted you to live with me, I would have asked you to move in. I didn't. You pressured me to move in to my spot. I don't want you here. You stay in your house and I'm going to stay in mine. If that's not satisfactory to you, then don't come back. And that's it. That's the end. So many dudes, they be trying to move in. Man, they be pressuring you. Well, and the famous line, brothers be pulling out. Well, it's just, we was wasting so much money. Wouldn't you want to wake up and see me? We just spending all this extra money. We would have more money to do this and that, blah, blah. No. And what always happens is they have more money. They have more money. You don't have more money. Because they don't be chipping in 50% on stuff. Like you still be buying all the food, laundry soap, paper towels, all that kind of stuff. That shit is costly. And they just think that they'll come and put it in the house or something. They don't never think that they need to come and, give up some money for that. Then packages of paper towels at Costco is like $20. I mean, you get a lot, but still, $18, $19. Toilet paper, same thing. That stuff is not cheap. Laundry soap, dish soap, all that kind of stuff. It costs money. And they just think, well, I bought $50 worth of groceries. Yeah, but what about all the other stuff? All the incidentals that make a house run, window cleaner, furniture polish, floor cleaner, mops and brooms that need to be replaced. All that kind of stuff costs money. Laundry soap, bleach and stuff, softener, all that costs money. And dudes don't ever consider that part. So, you end up coming out of pocket, so you end up covering more because now two people are using up just twice as fast as it was getting used when you were there by yourself. So it ends up costing you money. And they eat too much. So even if they give you some little money, they eat more than what they gave you for the food. That don't work neither. Having done that, I'm like, if I'm not married, and that's what you could tell them that too. If I'm not married, I'm not living with anybody. I'm single and I want to stay by myself. The end. But whatever you do, don't bend into his pressure. Don't do that. He's trying to just, push his way into your house. I'm very concerned about what that's all about. Is he about to lose his money? So see, this is the problem too that this happens to the girls in the column. Oh, so now he gets in there, right? He agreed to pay half, but then he decides he don't want to work no more. And he's already in the house. What you gonna do? Or he gets laid. I mean, it could be no fault of his own. He gets laid off, or company sold, or bankrupt, or whatever. And so now he's out of work. What you gonna do? He gets hurt, and he decides, oh well, I'm hurt, and so I don't have to work and I don't have to do anything. You're just going to take care of me. What you going to do? These are all things that you need to think about. What is his bill situation like? How much disposable income does he really have? Is that why he want to move in so bad? Because he just don't have no money? Because all his money is going to pay off with his creditors or whatever? You need to be asking more questions, but the bottom line is just tell him no. Yeah, I don't like living with nobody. I mean, I'm just telling you questions to ask, which, kind of would maybe give you a defense because you seem to want to need one. I just be like, hell no, that's not happening. The end. Okay, my book is one page. But a lot of you women, you want to give him a reason and you want to talk about it and you want to have a debate and you want to, make him feel good about it and explain and make him understand and go through all these changes. I'm not doing all that. I'm going to just say no, not happening. Stay at your house. Let's just, All right, let's move on. Question number 16, male, 22 to 28. He's a Gemini from Grand Rapids, Michigan. My girlfriend and I were in a social setting recently, and we ended up being sat opposite two women in their 30s. It was allocated seating. We did not choose to sit there. Okay, I guess that's important. While making small talk, one of the women mentioned what she does for a living, which happened to be in the same industry as me. My job is fairly niche, so usually when people ask me what I do, I just tell them I work in IT and leave it at that. However, when this woman asked me the question, I elaborated more than usual, as being in the same industry, I knew she would understand what I do and it could make for some good conversation. FYI, when I say elaborated, I told her that I'm a manager and I gave her 2 to 3 sentence description of what our tech does. Okay. Later in the evening, I could tell something was off with my girlfriend. I publicly put my arm around her to try to cheer her up, and she pushed me away and muttered, "Don't touch me." Quizzing her later, she told me that she felt I was, quote, showing off by elaborating on my job in the earlier conversation, since I usually brush the "what do you do for a living" question off with a standard answer. I tried to reassure her and tell her that it was only because this lady works in my industry that I elaborated. She won't accept this, though, and thinks that I'm big-headed and want girls to like me. Wow. I love my girlfriend. I don't want to break up with her over this, but she keeps showing small jealousy red flags like this. I've tried talking to her about it, but she says she isn't jealous. I'm looking for a new approach. Please help me. The new approach is, look, this is what happened. It happened. I can't undo it. It's going to happen more because as I move up in my job and become more powerful and getting more promotions, I'm going to be invited to more events and there are going to be more people in my field, and you just going to have to deal with it. If there's not something that you can deal with, just let me know because I can deuce out of this mess right now. One thing I'm not going to be doing is going through a whole bunch of changes about some insecure ass bitch who's sitting up here trying to tell me who I can and can't talk to and what I can and cannot say. You don't run me. You done lost your mind. And then I would slam the door for extra emphasis and walk out. Now, I have a feeling that you've never talked to her like that, judging by how you responded to this. She thinks you big-headed and you want girls to say, I don't have to have a big head because I'm the shit and I know it and so do you. That's why you want to be with me. And want girls one thing I do want is people in my field of expertise to respect my knowledge, skills, and experience. Now, you seem to think that that's something that I should hold back on because it makes make you feel better. I'm never going to do that. So like I said, as I climb the corporate ladder and get more and more visible in these kind of situations and go to more and more events, I will meet people in my industry. I will be having conversations with them. There will be men and there will be women. And you can't handle it, then we just end this right now. Yeah. That's how you got to talk to her. You letting her run you. You don't never let no woman run you. That is the worst thing so many dudes do. And then the women leave you and say, well, you were too nice. That's what they mean. You didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't put any boundaries. You didn't put no testosterone and no bass in your voice. You just went around trying to please her ass. Please. You better check this girl. She gonna act a fool in your work events and stuff and humiliate and embarrass you. And if people find out that you're too stupid to have a girlfriend that's got some sense, they're gonna think that something's wrong with you, and you're gonna lose a lot of opportunities because of her. Networking in any professional capacity, especially in tech, is key to your success. You have to have a woman beside you that understands that and is going to be supportive and is going to network herself. She could have joined in the conversation. Yeah, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And he did this and that, and they did this big project. And I was so proud of this. She could have been like that instead of sitting over there seething because you was talking to two women right in front of her face. It wasn't like you was tipping off around the corner doing nothing. She can hear every word to see everything that you did, but she's still gonna try to throw a fit and try to control you. Man, she wouldn't have got. I would have cussed her out. I know me. I know me. If I had a man that acted like that, he would have got cussed out and then dipped, dumped, whatever. She'd be low basic. This was just stupid. This don't make no damn sense. Dude, I'm telling you, you better do something about how you handle this chick and put her in check and let her know that, I could walk. Because you're not going to impede my career. I'm not going to have it. So whatever this little shit here is here, we can let this go. Because if it's about my money or if it's about you, I'm going to choose my money because I'm not your husband. I don't give a shit what you think. That's what she would get from me. I don't know if she isn't blocking him, but she's had the potential to if he keeps messing with her. I love my girlfriend. You better love yourself. Question number 17, male, 22 to 28, is from Vallejo. Well, a lot of guys wrote this week rather. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for a year now. We live together. And there are several occasions when we had a fight over some petty, from my point of view, though, things which got her really pissed off and angry. She is really raging in such moments and tends to act a little bit over the top, my opinion again. The latest situation, we discussed dinner and there was a serving for one person left from the previous evening. So I asked her if I could have it and she could eat something different. I am selfish sometimes, especially when it comes to food. I ate a little bit, but I didn't really enjoy it this time. I didn't find it tasty in that moment. So I got myself something else from the fridge. She got mad that I didn't eat it because she made a sacrifice and left it for me when she could have eaten it. She angrily called me a pampered boy and a person that was being spoiled though most of his life and left the kitchen. I felt terrible and insulted and wanted to distance myself. I need time alone in such moments. That's my way of dealing with pain, which leads to a vicious cycle because she hates distancing and gets even angrier. There were a couple of times in the past when I didn't like some of her dishes or other things which got us into a fight, and she's had this habit of bursting out almost uncontrollably and sometimes uses insulting words like idiot and dumbass. Oh, wow. She calls you that? I feel awful for a couple of days when such things happen. We are greatly damaging the relationship this way, at least that's what I'm feeling, to the point that I outright offered her to leave. I struggle to find my way back to her after such arguments because I feel really insulted by the words. She really apologizes. Usually, though, it's like I'm seeing two different people, the angry one and the ordinary one. Am I exaggerating? How can I cope with my feelings of hurt so that we can enjoy our relationship? Am I being too dramatic? And how can I be more thick-skinned? You don't need to be too dramatic. What you need to do when she starts calling you names is fire back. See, again, another guy who's just too nice to a bitch. She gonna call you. I wish somebody would call me an idiot and a dumbass. My mouth would go crazy. I probably wouldn't stop cussing for 10 minutes. They would become every kind of MF, dumb, B, all kind of stuff. But see, you probably don't want to talk to her like that. I don't have no problem. You call me a name, it's on like Donkey Kong. And don't say nothing, because I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about your mama. I'm going to talk about your habits. I'm going to talk about your hobbies. I'm going to talk about your friends. I'm going to talk about your family. I'm going to talk about every single thing about you. I'm going to talk about how you can't cook, can't screw, your body, everything that's your weaknesses. I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to take a pin and pop your bubble. That's what I'm going to do. That's why you don't call certain people, you don't call them names, because you never know how they're going to go left on you. And you'll be sitting there in a puddle of tears wondering why you even said anything. And see, that would be me. I would say, oh, is that what we're doing? And then I would commence to reading her like a book. I don't know why you think your ass is so special. You can't cook ass bitch. That's why the food is staying in the refrigerator. Don't nobody want that shit. You don't even want it. And try to get mad because I didn't want it. The shit is nasty. Why don't you take a cooking class or something? And somebody might want to eat that shit. I tried not to cuss you all. You see, I gave up. But I mean, really, yeah. And calling him names like dumbass and idiot. You know there's probably more, but he didn't put it. No, you can't do that. I can't. This. Can't do it. So anyway, give that some thought, young man, because that's the only way you're going to shut this down. You're going to have to fire back. Don't let her talk to you crazy like that and you don't say nothing. You need to light her ass up like it's the 4th of July. Okay? Light her up. And then shut her down. If she go in the room crying, that's about what she deserves. Okay. Then as far as you moving, you offered her to move. You don't need to offer. You pack your shit up and then you go. You don't. It's not her decision for you if you want to stay and take this abuse. That's your decision. Okay. And you sound stupid. I don't know why you there. This is crazy. This don't make any sense, sir. You better love yourself. All these people just focusing on other people, not themselves. And she said, baby, the bitch is bipolar and crazy. She need to be taking some drugs or meds or whatever they call them. Just be flashing on people like that and just flipping back and forth. I can't do that. You need to be the same. I need you to be the same. I can't do this back and forth flip-flop stuff. Question 18. We got 21 questions. We're winding down to the end. Female, 22 to 27, from Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, Shay, Deb, and especially Candace, thank you for choosing my letter. I'm a 23-year-old female and I've been with my 25-year-old boyfriend for 6 months. And this isn't the relationship for me. Oh, we're not compatible. He's broken my trust here and there, and I think I'd be happier alone. The problem is I've never been the one to break up with somebody, and he worries me. He's very codependent. He said before that if he lost me, he couldn't move on. After his last relationship ended, he went straight into self-destruction mode. He struggles being alone. I know he's a grown man and ultimately not my responsibility, but I still care deeply for him and I want him to be okay. I've been biding my time, but I know it's better if I do it soon so he can move on. How do I do this? We won't be able to do it face to face, so it has to be over the phone. I also know that he will offer his friendship, and while I would love that, I don't think it would be a good idea for him. So do we just go no contact and never talk again? Thank you for any advice. Yes, that's how you break up with somebody, unless you have kids. Now, if you have children, then that doesn't apply. You can't go no contact because you have to, have child visitation, and you're going to see them at the kids' recitals and their weddings and their graduations and birthday parties and Christmas and stuff. You're going to see that person, during those important milestones in your child's life. So there's no way to go no contact in a situation where you have children. But you don't have children. You don't even have a dog, a gerbil, or goldfish together. Nothing. There's no reason for him to be your friend. Okay? And if he offers you friendship, say no, thank you. I feel like you can't be friends with somebody that used to be your lover. You're an ex-lover, not a friend. And so then he's going to be like, well, when the people say that if they lost you and they can't move on and they're going to be self-destructive, what they're trying to do is set you up, which it worked for you because you give a damn. And you sitting up there worried about how he's going to, if he's going to self-destruct. Get you some popcorn in a front row seat and watch the movie, okay? You don't worry about what some grown man decides to do with himself. That's not your problem. Your problem is to worry about you. If he wants to self-destruct, like I said, you just got a front row seat and just enjoy the show. I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at him just going downhill. Look at him drinking himself to a French fry. I'm just like, I don't understand what it is that you are so concerned about. And you know the words to say, how do I do this? Well, you can call him up and you say, Joey, we've been dealing with each other for 6 months, and I have come to the conclusion that this isn't the right relationship for me. You're a great guy and stuff, but it's not the best choice for me. So I'm going to break up now. We're going to break up. Let's break up. Something like that. That's definitive, not I think we should, or I'm thinking about maybe my wife want to. You want to make a clear and definitive statement, like let's break up. And he's going to be like, no, don't leave me. And, trying to guilt trip you into staying and say, no, I've given this a lot of thought. This is the best decision. And no, we're not going to be friends. We're just going to go my way and you go yours. And that's it. Oh, maybe I'm a savage because y'all just don't give a damn. They start talking all that crazy conversation and like, let's be friends. I'm like, motherfucker, I wasn't your friend to begin with. I'm definitely not going to be wasting my time to be your friend now. Are you up in my face giving me more grief? I've had enough of you. Go away. Go crawl into a hole and die or something. Be my friend. I like my friends. I don't like you. You can't be my friend. Bottom line, get out of here. Leave me alone. Go somewhere. Do something with yourself. Yeah, the block button is wonderful. Block, delete, and block. And if you do that, you're going to have to block him on all your social media accounts, your phone, everything. Because he's going to be trying to call you to beg his way back. Crying and whining and trying to guilt trip you. So make sure you remove him, his access to you from everything you can think of. Okay, and don't friend any unknown people that want to send you a friend request. Don't get into any DM conversation with nobody, and don't answer any phone calls and that you don't know the number. Let it go to voicemail. As a matter of fact, get you a Google phone number. Use WhatsApp, whatever, for any future dating that you do. Let them use that number. Question number 19. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Portland, Oregon. I'll summarize as best I can. Oh, this looks long. But I, 33, have been friends with this 40-year-old guy for about 8 months. We connected through our mutual 420 habit, and love for all things nerdy. Immediately when we met, I laid down boundaries and made it clear I was only looking for friendship since I was struggling with a bad relationship at the time. He seemed fine with it, but slowly started to become more flirty as time progressed. I continued to reinforce that our relationship was strictly platonic, and he started making statements like, I'll wear you down, or you'll wake up one day and realize that we've been together for 10 years. And you kept talking to him. I relied on this friendship since I was living in a new state and had minimal friends. But Deb, 3 months ago, my boyfriend passed away unexpectedly from an auto accident. Oh, crap. And I was devastated and lonely. Ooh. It took a few weeks for me to start therapy, but my friend used that opportunity to push a relationship. Of course he did. He began telling his friends and family we were an item, and I had to correct them. When I brought it up to him, he just made excuses like, well, we have a good connection, so they just assume. About 6 weeks ago, we were having dinner with his friends, and one of them again indicated that we were a couple. Instead of the usual protest, I just said nothing. I felt stupid and embarrassed afterwards and didn't bring it up to him this time. We have never kissed or even been intimate in any way. I felt very uncomfortable around him from this point on, but I'm not a confrontational person, so I just hoped he would slowly back away from our relationship. Oh, did you now? Weak, spineless, waste of time woman. I can tell what direction this is going. You better find your ovaries and quick. I can tell this is not going in a good direction. Let me keep reading. I know, not a solution, but I'm not in the best place emotionally. I limited our contact. Oh, goddamn, this letter's long. Our contact significantly until Saturday. We went to a game and he dropped me off at home. And he said, I have to tell you something. I think you already know. I love you. I was shocked and didn't know how to respond. And I said, I care about our friendship, but only that. He smiled and went to hug me, and I stupidly accepted it. Then he tried to kiss me. I kept moving my head while we hugged. I went to pull away, clearly uncomfortable, but he held my face and kissed me. He then backed away and smiled and said, good night, darling. I felt physically grossed out, so he just forced himself on you. See, I knew this was coming. There is no attraction to him at all, and there is no way he didn't sense my uncomfortableness. I finally realized how awful I've let this situation get, but I still feel empathy for him. That's because you're stupid. He was there for me as a friend when I needed someone to talk to, and we had a lot of fun at times. So what? Let's talk about today. Okay, let's talk about what he did to you on Saturday. All that other shit you talking about is in the wind in the past. That has nothing to do with how he's acting towards you now, which is completely violating your boundaries and disrespecting your no. He don't give a shit about what you want. He's after what he wanted. This dude's a predator. And you and him knowing that you by yourself in the city and don't really know nobody, you declared open season on yourself by not having any firm boundaries and not standing up for yourself and not having a damn spine. I'm non-confrontational. But that means you're just a weak, silly hoe. That's what that really means. You try to use some big words to describe it. I'm going to just tell you what it is. You cannot be with men out here in this world right here we living right now and call yourself non-confrontational. That means you're just stupid, weak, spineless. Let people run over you. Don't have no boundaries. A damn doormat. That's what that means. I know this is tough language, but I'm just really getting this because the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to be at the police station because he assaulted you. That's where this is going because you don't know how to say no and you don't stand up for yourself. This guy is a predator. You need to leave him alone today. Today. Anybody who would go through all these extremes to try to push you into something that you already told him you don't want is a straight predator. You're his prey. He's going after you like the Terminator. And when he was trying to kiss you should have kneed him in the groin. Okay? Kick him so he backed away and fell down screaming. That's what you were supposed to do. You know you got this kind of dude in your life. Take a self-defense class and buy yourself a taser. Stun gun, whatever they call it. He tried some shit like that again, zap his ass. Right in the neck, right here. He'll fall down and he'll leave you alone after that. Okay? Keep it in your pocket and keep it ready to go. So you just pull the little switch down and you tap it to him as soon as he puts his hands on you and doesn't let you go. That's like imprisonment. This is not a good scene, young lady. You need to get your shit straight. You cannot be living your life like this. I didn't want the situation to turn out this way, and I tried to make my intentions clear constantly. I've lost the only friend I have in this state, but I don't know how to end it. I don't think I ever feel comfortable talking to him in public, and I'm not sure if that's fair. Why are you worried about fair when this man abused you and assaulted you? He's been constantly messaging me even though I haven't responded. The second one being, hey, want to make out? Any feedback is appreciated. I'm very conflicted. Block his ass. Block his ass. Change your number. Change your number. Change your number. We're going to start with that. Change your number. Okay, then you're not going to go anywhere with him anymore. If he shows up at your door, you tell him to go away before I call the police. You assaulted me the other day. I told you I didn't want anything to do with you. I didn't want you to touch me. I did not want you to kiss me, and you did it anyway. That is assault. Stay away from me. Stay away. And he's going to be trying to act like he's all brand new. And that you being all harsh and taking it too far and all this kind of stuff. He's going to try to flip it around and blame you for it and say, well, yeah, all that might be true. But the bottom line is, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Stay away from me. Okay? And get your stun gun, I'm telling you. Get it. Order it. Go to the store and get whatever they do. And where are you from? Portland? I don't know what the rules are there. But you get something. You get something. Because this dude, you in his target now. The next thing is going to be very bad for you. He just thinks he just got you by the nose hairs. Girl, you better speak up and do something. Question number 20. Should I be making moves to get up back out that state? That's what I would be doing. Female, 35 to 41 from Brighton, East Sussex in the UK. My husband keeps saying that we need to lose weight to become attracted to each other again, to save our relationship. For the record, I have never once said I don't find him attractive. I still do, but apparently he doesn't find me attractive enough to initiate anything anymore. And he told me that he can't live in a sexless marriage. I'm a UK size 18 and pretty sure plenty of men would want me and find me attractive looking like I do. What size is that in comparison to American sizes? UK size 18. I don't know how that compares. Anybody can find that real quick? Because I'm trying to get an idea of what she's talking about. Yeah, the UK is strong. It's strong. Luke, the UK is strong. Oh, she said, Kristen say move out of Portland because the men there are extremely low quality. Sound like she just moved there, probably for work. That's a US size 14. That's not even. A US size 14 is like the average size woman here. That's and depending on her height, that might not be even, chunky, fluffy, whatever. If she's real short, then yeah. But she's like 5'7", 5'8", size 14. It's just gonna be brick house looking. So I don't know. This is kind of interesting. So anyway, she says, I'm pretty sure plenty of men will find me attractive and looking like I do. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and I do most of the looking after her, so I don't find it easy to find time to look after myself. Am I being selfish by not losing weight because he wants me to? No, that would turn me off. That would turn me off. Telling you that you need to do it so he'll be attracted to you and save your relationship. Tell him I don't want to save it. Get your shit and get out. See, how do I put this without being super profane? I'm trying to find my words. When a man tells you something like this is just the beginning. When they try to change you and telling you how you're not measuring up to whatever their fantasy version of what you should be is, if you lose the weight, it's going to be something else. He don't like your nose, your hair, your boobs. I mean, your booty's too flat. It's something. Once he gets on that slippery slope and you start bending and succumbing to his demands, it never ends. He'll know then that you care about his opinion and that all this matters to you. When you could just jump in and say, well, okay, I'm about to lose 200 pounds right quick. Bye. That's what you tell him. You'd never let a man dictate anything about your life and your choices. You don't do it. Now, if you want to lose weight for yourself, or you want to start an exercise program, because a 4-year-old is perfectly capable of, walking with you. You could put her in a little stroller or something. Y'all go for a walk. You could put the video on. Some YouTube has a lot of great exercise channels, and you could do the exercises, there at the house. The baby's right there, playing with her dollies or whatever, so you can keep an eye on her. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to be a gym member or anything. You can get a couple of dumbbells or whatever, and an exercise ball, and you can get a great workout right in your living room, your bedroom, whatever, without leaving the house. It only takes about 30 minutes. So, I mean, if you want to do it, those are some tools that you can use to make it happen. But a man telling me something like that would turn me off so much. And I would tell him all about where he could go and take his dang-a-ling and his attitude and his attractiveness. See, I would feel like, that's what you want. You see that I'm not it. Go find it. And he's not sleeping with you. He's sleeping with somebody, most likely somebody who has this body type. I know you don't want to admit that, but it's not normal for a husband and wife not to sleep together. It's not normal. So you think about what I said. Think about if that, something that you would be interested in doing. Like I said, right here on YouTube, it's hundreds of channels. They have beginner exercise, they have senior exercise, stuff you can do in the chair, stuff 15-minute workouts, Tabata workouts, gym workout, all kinds of stuff. And the people do it, and you just follow along on the video, okay? So that would be my response to him. Like, you want something else, go get your hush puppies on and pack your suitcase and go get it. Bye. Remember to pay that child support. Girl, just like you said, there's men that's like everything. I used to have a male friend that me and my husband was his friend, actually, but, we were both our friends after a while. He would get a girlfriend and he would feed her because he didn't like, like about size 18 and above. He just thought that was the best. He just did not want no slim, trim woman. He wanted curves and cush. Cushion for the pushing is what he used to call it. So he would fatten his women up. He was amazing, but yeah, that was what he did. The biggest girlfriend he had, I think she was about a size 20, and he just loved her to death. Her name was Kathy. And he just, she died. I think she had cancer or something. And she died, and it just broke him. But that girl was, she was a big girl, and he just could not get enough of her. He just thought she was the most beautiful thing on two legs. So it's like whatever the men like, your man does not like your body type. And so just trade him in and find somebody who does. It's simple. Let's go on to our last question before we do, for those of you who weren't here when the show began. This is our video that went up yesterday. This is for women on how to make sure that you don't tell too much of your business to men. It's very important. This one will be uploaded this weekend about being transparent in relationships. It does have its place in a healthy relationship, but are most relationships healthy these days? Obviously not. So being transparent could be something that backfires on you, and I'll be explaining why. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the instant notification bell, so when it's uploaded, you won't miss it. You'll be here to watch it because I'm gonna set it up as a premiere. So here we go with our final question of What the Fuck Thursday, question number 21. It's a female in the 22 to 28 age group from Exeter in Devon, England. See, another UK letter. What if Candace saved them all up for today? Because I have no idea when they came in, I know we had a bunch of letters that were sent in while I was, incapacitated. Couldn't do nothing. So maybe some of these are from there. Hi, Deb. I've been dating someone now for 3 months. It's all going brilliantly, in my opinion. We have a lot of fun together. We both said that we are open to seeing where things go. However, we haven't discussed anything beyond that. I have deleted my dating apps, and I'm not interested in dating or seeing anyone else. I don't know his opinion on this. Is 3 months too early to ask? Is it too late? If he were really interested, would he have already asked me? Thank you for your input. You should not have deleted your dating apps. You should still be going on dates because you are not in a committed relationship yet. Y'all haven't had the talk. So you want to set your time up and set your put him into your life in a little situation like he's your man, and he's not your man. So this is the kind of situation where you would be acting as if he were your boyfriend and get your face cracked when he would say to you, oh, we're just having fun. We're not in a relationship. What are you talking about? See, that happens a lot to young ladies who don't know the game. You never delete your dating apps unless he does it too. And it's something that you talk about and something that you both agree to do. Okay, you don't just arbitrarily do it, setting yourself up to be committed to a man who hasn't agreed to commit to you. See how that works? You're not handling this well. Put your dating app back up, and then go on some other dates, and see what happens. Because if he's like, he wants to go out with you one time, you say, "Oh, I can't. I already have a prior engagement. I'm already doing something else." You do that a couple of times, he'll either shit or get off the pot. So he'll be like, "Oh no, I don't want you to go out with other guys. I only want you to go out with me. Can you be my girlfriend?" And then you can say, "Oh yes, oh my God, I thought you never asked." Or he just be happy because he just enjoying what y'all have just the way it is right now, and which you can enjoy what you have as well with other people too. But until this conversation is had, and you should not be the one to bring it up. I'm not a fan of women bringing this conversation up. You date other men until he decides he just wants to be with you. And you'd be like, okay, yeah, I'd like that too. Okay. You continue to date other men. He's not your boyfriend. He's not your fiance. He ain't your baby daddy. He's nothing to you but some dude you met on a dating app that you've been spending time with, kicking it with for 3 months. You should have been kicking it with several other people at the same time. You didn't handle this well. So that's my suggestion, that you refocus your energies. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to get your question on the show for coming, what the fuck, we're gonna go back to Tuesdays next week. I'm gonna make sure of it. If you want to get your letter considered for the show, please submit it. There's a link in the show description down below. There's a little button up here on YouTube that says Get Advice. You click that. Or you can navigate to Debsterism.com. That's the name of the channel. Debsterism. There it is up there on the little button. Debsterism.com, and you'll see the Submit Get Advice form there. And it's also on SurvivingDating.com, the same form. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. I thought it was rather interesting. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe and share a video or two before you get up out of here. Look for the show upload that's going to be coming up on this weekend on being transparent in a relationship, and how a little bit too much transparency might not be the best decision to make. You dealing with some of these shady people, man. Yeah, they want to see right through you, but that's not the move you want to make. Anyway, thanks you guys for coming and sitting in. Thanks everybody in the chat room. I will see you all real soon, probably by Saturday. Bye-bye.